So I'm sort of a whacked out entrepreneur in the sense that every business I walk into, I start to write a business plan. Like I have a file on a whole business plan for Corporate Alliance. I have one for every restaurant that I've ever eaten in. Every business that I've ever talked to, I write a business plan in my head and start to think about how would I do it, how would I go to market, how do they go to market, why do they choose to go to market that way. And so then I can start to see how they develop things, how do they make decisions, and then I use those associations when I'm looking at the problems that I want to try to solve.
We started an online idea board where the employees could go in and anyone in the company could list an idea to solve any problem. So we would kind of post, here's the problems and the issues we're facing, and we would allow employees to go in and add their solutions for that, and then everybody could actually vote on those ideas, which would allow kind of the popular consensus to go rise to the top. And then as executives, we would sit and go through just that top ranked ideas, and it really helped us to find some of the best solutions in the company. The other thing, and I think this is the harder one because it seems so counterintuitive, is you've got to step away. You know, we sometimes are so busy that you're not giving yourself time to even innovate at all. And I think it's hard because you think, well, I've got all this big problem to solve. Stepping away is only just going to make the problem worse because I don't have time for stepping away. And it took me a long time, and I still struggle with it today, remembering that, hey, sometimes you got to unplug and just walk away, because when you get that break from being in the thick of it, your mind can start thinking about all the different things that are possibilities, and you're not so hyper-focused on the situation. So I think taking the downtime, taking time to go to the beach or to just go for a walk or whatever it is, get out of the situation and give yourself a couple of days, and you'll be amazed the impact that will have on your ability to be creative again and to start thinking of new ideas. You can't do it when you're in the thick of it, though. It's just too hard.
Well, something interesting to kind of foster the culture of innovation here at Instructure, we just call it the hackathon. You know, once a quarter we take 3 days and we tell the engineers, do whatever you want. You know, build something cool, and you know they all of them are on schedules and have demands and you know are part of our engineering process. This is when they can let go of all of that, and then they make a 3-minute video of the demo because you know we've got a bunch of engineers, and actually going through show and tell would be a nightmare. So that kind of focuses them as like, what can you do in a 3-minute video to show something cool you've built? And it's just a great way to pull them out of their grind, get them thinking outside the box, and get them to do something fun. Because what they build doesn't necessarily have to be useful; it just has to be cool. And if you have the right kind of people in place that naturally do that, all you have to do is get out of their way for a little bit and then see what happens.
You know, I probably come up with ideas in a lot of different ways. One, I read a lot. I'm constantly probably devouring business magazines, just various periodicals, to the point of my wife says it's crazy. I have way too many subscriptions. Another thing that I like to do is travel. I spent a couple years ago in like the midst of this when we were getting Snap going, I spent a couple months in Asia, just touring Asia with my family. People thought we were crazy. I've got 3 young daughters, and most people go to Europe. But I thought, let's go to Southeast Asia. And, you know, it's just growing so rapidly, and there's so much innovation, so much happening there. I'm like, I gotta just expand my mind. I just don't want to be confined to, you know, Salt Lake City, or, you know, even, you know, subcomponent of that of North Salt Lake where I live.
I actually thought of another mind trick, the Jedi mind trick. You can't innovate when you're heavy. We try to be very light, very nimble, very agile. When you have way too many layers of people that have to report to you and you don't even know why anymore, when you don't know what they're doing, it's really hard to innovate. You just can't. When you're able to take out the fluff, the true problems and the true solutions come up so fast, so easy, that once again it makes innovation be the natural next step.
If someone wanted to be more innovative, I would say the first thing is you need to create a safe place where you can be innovative, where rules don't necessarily apply. The room that I innovate in I call it the future room. And the reason I call it the future room is because that's the a place where I dream about what the future's like. And inside the future room, you can innovate without someone telling you no or you're wrong.
We had another challenge, and that was innovating for the sake of what? Just for it to be different, or was it really going to be meaningful? One of the things that we discovered in the process was that every single day there are 2,000 people injured in ladder accidents and 100 people who are permanently disabled every day from ladder accidents, and one person never goes home. We did decide as a company that we could change that. We could change those numbers, and so that became our why. And we went through a whole exercise that I won't explain today on discovering our why, but when we realized it was preventing injuries and saving lives, it lit our company on fire. Everybody got excited about that. It was a new reason to get out of bed. It was a new challenge, and sure, we're rewarded financially if we do that, but above the financial reward, the fact that we were actually ensuring that people would come home at night was far more rewarding than the paycheck. And so it became, for us, it's our vision, it's our goal. We won't build anything unless it's going to prevent an injury or save a life. That also gives us really clear direction on innovation. We know which direction we want to go.